Now, as I talk about the fact that I don't like multiverses or the concept of stories that come from source material and that doesn't really like follow the source material, I did enjoy Catwoman. I thoroughly enjoyed Catwoman. And the big reason why was because, first off, everybody has such a bad thing to say about it. But for me, I was never really a big fan of Selena Kyle's Catwoman in DC because it was a woman who had a whip and she was a cat burglar. You know what I mean? She was a woman with a whip and she was a cat burglar. That was the theme. Or at least that's what it felt like. So it was like when I think Catwoman, I think woman who could turn into a cat, or woman that has some kind of cat tendencies, or at least a woman who, at least looks like a cat. When I think of Catwoman, I think of Chitara, or the cheetah villain for, Wonder Woman. So it's like a lady dressed up as a cat stealing diamonds, hit or miss. Also, I want to just go ahead and bring this up real quick. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Halle Berry because Halle Berry could have easily done movies that just sort of like capitalize on her looks because there was a time where she was the most beautiful woman in the world, and let's face it, she is. But so it's like so it is kind of a also don't take that most beautiful woman in the world conversation done. I actually don't care that much about anything being the best in the world because that's a stupid discussion. It's all opinionated at the end of the day. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying though is that like I really have nothing but respect for Halle Berry because she really did kind of ultimately go into multiple forms of film. She wasn't just the hot chick. She was she did action movies. How often do you see black women in the lead in action movies, man? I'm not necessarily saying it doesn't happen, but I'm saying is that like before she got in, I didn't know any, black woman led action movies. And when you really think about it, I mean, can you? So yeah, like when seeing Halle Berry be a Catwoman, I thought that was actually really dope. Another thing too is I like the idea that it was connected to her having cat-like powers, and also the plot for the time kind of made sense. I think the most weirdest thing about the Catwoman movie to me was obviously the sexual undertone basketball game that took place in that kids in that middle school, I think it was. So yeah, that was the weirdest part, but everything else not too bad. I hate it when people like bash when people bash computer generated stuff in movies because it's like there was still work that was done on that. And there are some occasions where computer generated stuff in movies actually do look good, but nobody just ever wants to say it because it's like, well, I don't want to be the one guy to, for everybody to just get angry at because they actually like something. No. I'm going to say it. I liked the Catwoman. I mean, I also liked it because it wasn't based off of DC. Like there was no Batman. It didn't take place in Gotham City. It was nothing like that. It was just a lady who got cat powers who was basically fighting against a corrupt business that was doing things. I thought that was dope, And honestly, if there was a sequel to that featuring Halle Berry, I would be all for that. But I say that like literally right after a video where I say that I don't like multiverses and stuff like that. But like in this instance, it was there is no multiverse here because her name wasn't even Selena Kyle. I think that's kind of dope, man. I like that. That's the kind of creativity that I do enjoy because at no point was it DC's Catwoman. It was just Catwoman. Another thing too that I actually would have enjoyed is like I like the idea that like they didn't take anything from the source material. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was just that was one of the takes. And yeah, man. Also, Halle Berry is just. I feel like her by herself as a person would probably be like just kind of like quiet and sort of to herself. But when she acts, I like the way she acts. I like that she is. I liked her in John Wick. I thought I get it. Somebody shot my dogs, I'd be mad too. Which is why I never have dogs. Man. But yeah. But like I also just feel like, but when it comes to source material, when you take something and you try to make it like the source material, but then like take things away and then add things, you know what I'm saying? You just basically turned it into a fanfic, and why? For what? Like, because it feels like it's less of a take on, I like this thing and I wanted to do something with this thing, and I just am going to make this into my thing now. It's kind of one of the reasons why I like try my best to avoid a lot of TV shows dedicated to DC Comics. But it's like the sad part is I did watch Black Lightning because obviously, and I actually did like Black Lightning, but it did kind of bother me that at no point did anybody ever say, Tobias, you lost weight. Because Tobias was basically DC's kingpin. And in the comic books, he is fat, bro. He is super fat. Like, he is really fat. And in the series, he's normal. He's of normal build. And nobody ever says, you lost weight, I just, I understand the tie-ins. I understand that there's a lot of things in comics. Comics been going on for like the past 70 years. So, of course, there's going to be some things that's going to be bizarre, weird, different, outwritten, overwritten, rewritten, completely cut off entirely. I get that. Which is why Hawkman will probably never be a TV series. But the fact of the matter is that, like, I mean, if Hawkman is a TV series, I mean, what would they do, what would they even do with that? Like, how would that go? Like, what? But at the end of the day, though, it's just like, it's too complicated. It's just, I understand that they're trying to make sense of the universes right now. And it's like, how? How do you do it? Is Bruce Wayne a Robin? Is Superboy the son of Superman or a clone of Superman that also has Lex Luthor, parts inside of him? I mean, I like the fact that Steel exists, you know what I mean? Because Steel is dope. I love the fact that they kept the John Henry thing going. But it's like at the end of the day, there's like that he's one of 3 black Supermans with Val Zod and President Superman. And are they official Superman? Yes. It's just really complicated, man. Crisis on Infinite Earths was supposed to make sense of this, and it didn't. Then Infinite Frontier is trying to make sense of this, and I can assure you that they won't either. And that's the part that bothers me when it comes to multiverses. I hate multiverses. I am going to talk further about Catalyst Prime when I have the time. But as of right now, love, peace, safety, and take a look up in the sky because of the fact that there's an asteroid that's coming to Earth probably to give us all our Catalyst Prime superpowers. The incidents. Be safe out there.